will spend more time behind bars as their bail bid has been pushed to next week. 2 former G4S employees who were arrested on Monday appeared in the Bloemfontein Magistrate Court earlier today. They were joined by 3 other colleagues as well as Besta's alleged partner, Dr. Nandipha Magudumana. Oren Singh reports.
While the state was expected to entertain a bail application of Dr. Nandipha Magudumana, Sinoho Matsuwara, Buti Masukela, and CCTV technician Teboho Lepolo, an issue of time prevented this from happening. The court had initially set down today and tomorrow for a bail application to be heard for the 4 accused. But following Monday's arrest of Theo Franz Makotsa and Natasha Janssen, both the state and defense teams agreed that more time would be required to deal with the bail application due to the number of accused involved. The case has been postponed to the 11th and 12th of May for a formal bail application for all 6 accused. Makotsa and Janssen are accused 7 and 8 in the matter, facing charges of assisting Besta escape and defeating the ends of justice. All the accused will remain in custody. Oren Singh, Eyewitness News, Bloemfontein.
And the presidency says it hopes to resolve issues related to Russian President Vladimir Putin's possible visit to SA before it hosts the BRICS summit in August. Presidential spokesperson Vincent Magwenya says the occasion is being unnecessarily overshadowed by the controversy over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Gauteng will be partly cloudy tomorrow with isolated afternoon showers and thunder showers. Joburg dropping to an overnight low of 12 degrees, peaking at 25. Pretoria 13 and 27. Vereeniging 12 and 26. Lerato Huffela, Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News on 947. For more, click ewn.co.za.
#MSW. You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High-dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
For our sports worldwide.
Welcome to the pre-derby between Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. My name is Robert Marawa, and I'm here with an international player that Kaizer Chiefs has bought, Mohamed Salah. We are with now Tembinkosi Toch from Orlando Pirates. How do you feel about the game?
A very easy game. I must say, I came from England. I scored 40 goals there. I scored many goals there in practice, more especially because I'm playing against Kune, but no problem, same thing.
Changing and re-engineering sports on the continent and the world.
I just wanted to hear, man, what's happening at Kaizer Chiefs? Those guys, Bawina give me one, Bajua give me one, Bawina give me one, Bajua give me one. What's happening actually there? It seems like something is wrong that side.
#MSW.
Kutatso Monjana is my guest, South Africa's #1 wheelchair tennis player. What was that desire that really led to it?
I played wheelchair tennis or tennis without knowing what it was. Never seen it before. I just picked up the racket and I just followed the instruction and they were like, you can play.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW. Wednesday nights, soccer nights, your nights.
Games already concluded this afternoon. Orlando Pirates and Royal AM played out to a 1-1 draw. Sekhukhune United currently playing against CS Galaxy. That's gone into half-time with Sekhukhune leading that game by a 1-0. A goal scored and converted, a penalty by the Nigerian, a man who's made an impact here, Chibuke Ohizu, making it 1-0 to Sekhukhune. So what that really means as far as the table is concerned is that Sekhukhune move a place up. If the game ends this way, they will hop up a spot to 6th, pushing down Stellenbosch. That's after Royal AM clawed their way back into the top 8 and pushing Swallows down. And the reason I mentioned Swallows, it is a very important one because, hey, as we welcome you to #MSW, it is Marawa Sports Worldwide. It is a Wednesday today. You're live at 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and on Sowetan Live, wherever you are around the country, the continent, and the world. We had the big news. Was it yesterday? Yeah, Loftus Versfeld Stadium being announced as the host of the Nedbank Cup final later on this month. So the last time that Gauteng hosted a cup final, believe it or not, was back in 2020. And coincidentally, it was the very same Nedbank Cup final between Mamelodi Sundowns as well as Bloemfontein Celtic. Does Bloemfontein Celtic exist? No. Does Sundowns exist? Yes. Does Loftus exist? Yes. So that is a good omen. And that game was actually played behind closed doors at the very same Soweto venue due to COVID-19. Now, Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi acted very swiftly now to have the Nedbank Cup final played in the province. So he joins me to take us through this process. Let's welcome the Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi, who joins me on the line. Mr. Premier, thank you so much for your time. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Thanks to you, Roberto. Good evening. Are you well?
I am very, very strong. I know you're the Premier now. You had to vacate your official position at Swallows, but it would be heartwarming. It would also be adverse of me not to make you say something when you saw your team touching that top 8 place a couple of days ago.
Humbled, teary at the same time, because we picked up this team from nowhere, and to see it there. I was very worried, honestly, when I saw them finishing at the bottom, dancing or trying to be amongst those teams that are in the relegation zone. So just for them to be there, but most importantly to win against Kaizer Chiefs, I think it was something that in my wildest dreams I never thought it would happen. But I wanted to thank the chairperson of the team and the coach and the technical team. I think they've done well. I hope next year they strengthen the team and they don't have to find themselves fighting for relegation again. They still need 1 point just to be sure, but I think they can start to prepare for the next season.
No, absolutely, because you don't want the stress again, season in and season out. If you start strong, maybe even get a sponsor to solidify all of the financial issues, that would help.
No, indeed. So I'm wishing them well. It's a very important team, so we don't want it just to rely on history to survive. It must rely on performance to survive and to attract new supporters. It always pains me when they play at Dobsonville Stadium and the numbers are not encouraging. So we just need to do well and perform well and start now recruiting strategic young players that are promising, that are good. I really feel the country is full of those talents. It's just that we need to spend time to go and hunt and polish it.
Yeah, I mean, talking about 2 more games left against Royal AM, which will be difficult. They'll also be fighting for a place in the top 8. And Marumo Gallants, which might be the most dangerous one because they might be fighting for their lives and for their survival overall. All right, let me bring you back to the real issue that we brought you onto the platform for, the role that you've played behind the scenes now. It's out in the public and bringing the Nedbank Cup final to Gauteng, most importantly to the Loftus Stadium in Pretoria. Talk to me about what happened here.
It was a difficult one, Roberto, because I really feel we dropped the ball at the province. I think we took there's no need for sporting events to come to Gauteng, and other provinces took advantage of that. As you said in our intro, since 2020, we've never had the Nedbank Cup in Gauteng. Even top 8 or MTN 8 has never been in our province for quite some time. So we positioned ourselves to say the new economy, it's what we call the sports economy. Sports is massive. It can be rugby, it can be cricket, it can be Formula 1. It can be Nedbank. I mean, we lost the Nedbank World Cup. That World Cup should have been in Gauteng, to be quite frank. How we lost it, I don't know. So we then repositioned and repackaged and dusted off our strategy and then started to lobby behind the scene. We lobbied heavy. Even though the final was going to be, say, Sekhukhune and Marumo Gallants, we wanted it to win Gauteng. The mere fact that it's in Gauteng was going to be a big bonus. And I was happy that we granted our wish, and the sponsors, Nedbank, thank you so much, and PSL agreed to stage the competition in Gauteng. And already for the semi-final, 85% of our hotels are full, and the hospitality industry is buzzing, and everyone is expecting thousands and thousands of people to come to Gauteng over the weekend. So it's exciting. But Gauteng people must also reward these teams. You can't, when you play, you only bring numbers when it's Chiefs and Pirates. But if Orlando Pirates are just playing now, we didn't have a full house, and that was a crucial game for them to qualify for CAF. So we also have to start persuading our supporters to also fill up the stadiums, because that's the reason why people will leave our province to go and stage their teams or their tournaments outside our province. But we have to get the 8 teams that are coming from Gauteng, SuperSport, Mamelodi Sundowns, Pirates, Swallows, Kaizer Chiefs. We must get all of them to have their home games in Gauteng. And I'm working very, very hard. You know, Kaizer Chiefs sometimes take their games to Polokwane. I spoke to the management of Chiefs. I really believe they must come back to Gauteng. They can just, if they want to take it out of FNB, they can take it either to Vosloorus or Tsakane. That stadium will be packed, so they don't have to travel that far. So, but we are lobbying major tournaments. It can be gospel, it can be musical festivals, it can be international shows. We're lobbying very hard, and we've got a team that is doing the bidding on our behalf to have these big games coming back to Gauteng and reignite the economy of Gauteng.
What about the expectations, though, that come through here, Premier, from the sponsors and the league? Were you able to address those?
No, we did. We're providing all the necessary support to them. They were excited with our plans. And they're also excited that, it's a commitment. They know me. I'm a fanatic of sport. So I'm not speaking to somebody who's or doing a guesswork about hosting or dealing with this kind of event. So my presence assisted, and as I said, my association also within the soccer fraternity also assisted to relax their nerves, either of the sponsors of PSL. And I'm looking forward, and I hope people of Gauteng will enjoy without spending lots of money to travel far from Gauteng. They will enjoy this soccer tournament at their doorsteps. I mean, as you say, it's Loftus, and this weekend is FNB. So it's an opportunity. People can make some savings and pay for that extra electricity if it's there.
Yeah, well, if it's there, that's the big question. That's the conundrum that we all sit with these days. But you'd also want this to be long-term, I would imagine, that, yes, this season, great, but also you want to hold on to that to make, I think there was a certain time when it was dubbed as, Gauteng, the province of champions.
It was a home of champions. We lost that. But it is not about also your derby. I mean, I persuaded Marumo Gallants, for example, to play their CAF game at Dobsonville Stadium in Gauteng. And they were excited that they were approached by the Premier and they're willing to play. Even though they're based in Limpopo, the mere fact that we lobbied them to play at Dobsonville Stadium, they felt honored. I went to watch them now when they're playing at Rustenburg Stadium. Because they're no longer representing Marumo, they're representing the country. They are in the continental tournament. So we also go and attract those that are playing the continental tournament, including Sundowns. They've been opening the gates for everyone to come and watch, and that's good for us. It promotes interest of the sport, but most importantly, it makes our citizens to be happy. We have to make our citizens to be happy, and we have to create opportunities, job opportunities. Just imagine how many people at the derby on Saturday and the final next week will make an extra cash, either for guarding the cars, selling food, washing those cars, and many other things. So that's how an economy pumps, An economy does not pump because there is something big. It starts small and then create opportunities, and our people become happy.
Tell me about, I believe that the agreement with SAFA to host all of the Bafana qualifiers as well as big tournaments to also be staged here in Gauteng.
Yes, we signed all the qualifiers for the African Nations Cup will be hosted in Gauteng, the Bafana Games. But we went further, and I'm glad SAFA agreed that let's stage them next to the townships. Unfortunately, we are struggling with a majority of our township stadiums, which is another huge investment that we are making. We are revitalizing HMP. We want to ensure that Lucas Masterpiece's Moripe Stadium is ready for the PSL season, including Vosloorus Stadium and many other, Johannesburg Stadium as well. So all the games of Bafana, we're trying to just make them to play in the proper qualifying stadiums that are in the township so that we can just plant the seed of interest for our young ones that are staying in those townships so that can come and watch Bafana.
And Bafana again, like you were saying that if the supporters within Gauteng don't support their Gauteng-based teams, they should double up their efforts in supporting Bafana because half the time, I mean, we've also criticized the SAFA for saying promote your games more, make them more visible, tell people in time. If non-sporting activities can come through and fill up an F&B stadium, how much more when your national team is playing?
The interest is there. It's just how do we bring that interest or convert that interest into people sitting at our stadium chairs. I mean, you go and see Phillies games. Thousands and thousands of people pack those games. Mashogo games, My Money games in Alexander. Thousands of thousands goes there and watch those games. So we just have to find a way of ensuring that our football is interesting, attractive, and also it's quality, because people want to watch quality sometimes, and not sometimes always, but sometimes they feel that quality is lacking. So we just have to work extraordinary hard to ensure that, I mean, Roberto, when me and you grew up, I could narrate the top or the starting lineup of Kaizer Chiefs or Orlando Pirates or Morocco Swallows. Easily to say who had the starting lineup. And I knew there was a specific player I went to the ground to watch. I mean, I could not miss. I was not supporting Kaizer Chiefs, but every time Dr. Kumalo plays, 16V will make something new that I would want to try in my home game in Tembisa or something. So we still need to also instill that culture of having players that are followed by supporters as well.
Absolutely. I want to squeeze in a voice note or two before we say goodbye to you.
Hi, Rob. This is Joy from Wattville in Benoni. Yeah, well done to the MEC, Mr. Panyaza, for bringing the final to Gauteng. But yeah, nonetheless, I want to also encourage the supporters to go in numbers and fill up the stadium, because one other thing that I've noticed that in Gauteng, people don't normally go to the games just to watch, because they follow their teams that they support. Whereas whenever the finals are being played, like in Mabida, people, they just go there for the love of the game. That's one thing that I've noticed.
All right. Still calling him the MEC is a Gauteng Premier now, so we'll get that one correct. But I think at the basis of that, you get where he's going to, just exactly what we were chatting about now.
No, indeed. As I said, it's not about the tournament. It's about job creation. It's about opportunities that people will get. So we need to, when we bring these games to Gauteng, people of Gauteng must also understand that we must play our part. Indeed, when you go to other areas, I mean, check the Chiefs cheaper United game, game with Chiefs at in PE at Kabeja. It's packed. That's what we need. We need also to play our part and ensure that we really fill up the stadiums and people can benefit and be encouraged to bring that tournament in Gauteng. But Gauteng is open for events, and it's not only soccer. We're bidding for a big gospel event that is popular in our country. It's normally staged in KZN. We want it in Gauteng because it's not a Gauteng gospel event. It's a national event. So there are people that have given us big documents for Formula One. We are very keen, as long as not an arm and a leg and bankrupt government. We are also very keen to find a portion of the Nedbank World Cup. Either some tournaments must be based, some teams must be based in Gauteng, or one form of having public screening of the Nedbank of the Netball World Cup tournament. It might be in Cape Town. We can have public screening in Gauteng. So we are open for creative, we're open for bids, for everyone. We ever have a big tournament, a big concert. I mean, we're chasing Tony Braxton is coming to Dobsonville Stadium. We said to the organizers, if you bring into the township, we'll support you. They're willing. They're bringing Tony Braxton to the township. We want to partner with them. So we are going big, because this thing creates small opportunities for people who are in big tournaments to come to Gauteng. So we're open for offers, for ideas. And we really want to create opportunities for those that are staying in the township, informal settlements and hostels.
Absolutely. Fantastic job as always, Panyaza Lesufi. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you so much, Roberto.
All right. And obviously,
really appreciate that.
with Tony Braxton coming through, we can tell that Spanish guitar and you are very good friends.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live.
In 3, 2, 1.
On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.
The next days are not a measurement of time, but the distance from here to the finish line. For the race you are running, for your kids, your career, your health, your future, not away, but towards it. While the voice in your head reminds you it won't be easy. But by simply swinging your feet towards the floor, you've taken the first step. Grow for it with Stamino Grow. 5-in-1 supplement available at all leading pharmacies.
In my business, I was always told, look before you leap. I'm more like leap before you look. Because if you spend too much time looking, you'll end up not leaping, and besides, the vantage point from the air is much better. So leap, man, leap.
Become a Sage customer like Miles and set up your business to fly with our helpful accounting, HR, and payroll tools. Visit sage.com today. Sage, helping business flow.
What do you consider amazing? At Lexus, we believe it's bringing the future a little bit closer to today. That's why the next generation Lexus NX has the Lexus Safety System Plus that protects people inside and out. A driver-focused cockpit with a 14-inch touchscreen. And Hey Lexus, a virtual assistant that reacts intuitively to you. The next generation Lexus NX. Next is now. Lexus. Experience amazing.
Anele and the club on 947.
From the producers that brought you the best chocolate cake search,
the best biltong,
the best rubs, the best samosas,
the best burgers.
Put your safety belts on.
This winter,
loosen your belts.
No.
Because Anele and the club are going on one more search. We are looking for the best cheesecake in Johannesburg.
The best cheesecake in Joburg.
With Anele and the club on 947.
You text into 32947. You say cheesecake and the place that we must have a look at. And out of there, we'll take the top 15.
T's and more.
On 947.co.za.
SMS's cost R1.50.
We are ready to taste the cheesecake.
At Specsavers, we're committed to offering affordable and professional eye care. That's why we're offering 1,500 Rand off with our winter promotion. Get a free frame up to the value of 1,500 Rand or use the 1,500 Rand on one of our leading lens enhancements. To qualify, purchase a comprehensive eye examination and prescription frame and lenses. Book online or call your nearest store today. Specsavers, for affordable eye care and a whole lot more. T's and C's apply.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Her left leg amputated due to complications from a congenital disorder. But that period of her life also marked her introduction to sport. Kutatso Mojane is my guest, South Africa's #1 wheelchair tennis player. And how long's that been?
I guess as long as I remember. As long as I picked up the racket and won my first tournament here at home. So, yeah.
Unmatched.
Yeah, never been defeated by a local player. So, you know what? I want to win a Grand Slam to validate everything. I think I just want more.
Yeah.
So I'm not allowing myself to really feel like I've done enough yet, simply because there's still more that I want to achieve.
#MSW. #MSW.
Good evening, Rob and the Premier, Mr. Lesufi. I hear he's got great points and great visions and all that. But with Kaizer Chiefs, we have seen it that they fill stadiums more when they're playing out of Gauteng province. And I think at the end of the day, it's all about business. If they can find the great support like they do in other provinces, it's only fair for them to run it like they do, like it's a business. I don't think it's anything personal. So I still don't think Kaizer Chiefs will play all their home games in Gauteng. I just don't see that happening.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live.
In 3, 2, 1.
On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.
All right, that voice note saying that he doesn't foresee Kaizer Chiefs playing all of their home games in Gauteng because for him it makes more business sense for the club Kaizer Chiefs to make more money in other provinces. But hey, if you've given a platform to the Premier to be at your press conference or open media day, that it also suggests to me that maybe there's a meeting of minds there. Otherwise it wouldn't be happening. All right, if you are somewhere driving and you're missing the breaking news that is currently underway, is that Lionel Messi is set to leave Paris Saint-Germain. So remember, he is suspended as we speak. Went on an unauthorized trip. And the club believes that, you're not bigger than a club. In fact, we weren't even going to renew your contract. So already there's a wave of speculation in terms of where he's going to be going to next. Will he be heading back to Barcelona? Or will this be another opportunity to reunite him with guess who? Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Maybe my guest who deals all with football players and movements and coaches might help me. Who knows? Maybe she has a share in Lionel Messi. Maybe she has signed a contract with him. But yeah, even Sky Sports right now confirming the breaking news: Lionel Messi to leave PSG this summer. We'll see how that story plays itself out. But had been reading a lot about how after the World Cup things kind of changed at PSG for Lionel Messi. And you'd think it would be the opposite way, because if you win a World Cup and you got a World Cup winner within the camp, that will motivate. But I just don't know that PSG project and its success. When you look at the superstars that are there, and I think they need to find different homes themselves. Kylian Mbappe should head to Real Madrid or should head to an EPL club if he is to kind of gain the kind of status that I think he does deserve. Talking about movements, though, behind every successful footballer, you can be certain there's an agent behind him or her, pulling a couple of strings and favor for them. I can tell you this without any reasonable doubt that this woman is one of the best there is in the business, in the domestic game. You best believe me. Sell you no lies on this show. And she's taken her game to a whole new level after qualifying as a FIFA accredited agent. We're chatting to none other than QT Sports Managing Director. And now we congratulate her, Basia Michaels. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Hey, bro. Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. I mean, there's agents and now there are FIFA accredited agents, and you happen to be one of them. One of very few across the world, because they're very angry at this difficult exam. You're going to be telling us all about it. But firstly, congratulations. What's the feeling like?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rob. Surreal. I must be honest with you. Sometimes I don't believe that it's me. I really don't. But we take it in my stride. And yeah, grateful to God for the blessings and the mercy. Yeah.
But there was a belief of why you did it. Why did you do it?
Why did I do it? Ultimately, the rules are changing.
Yeah.
So I had to, By the 1st of October of this year, FIFA has essentially put a halt to intermediaries, and you have to then be either a FIFA accredited agent or your association has to then give you a license to be able to practice and do what I do currently. So the road is changing. It's come to a fork, and I either had to go to the left or to the right, and I opted to go to the left, wrote the exam, and once again, by the grace of God, I passed because it was a tough one.
You'll tell us why it was tough in a second. The reason why I ask why you did it is because, I know your passion for the game. I know your passion for representing football players of all walks of life, or even coaches for that matter. But it would have been a massive decision if you had other interests still. So it means that what you were doing still resonates as primary in your life.
No,
Am I
definitely
correct
is.
in that?
No, definitely is. This isn't a side hustle, and I think you
Sure.
and I have had this conversation before off air. We are essentially responsible for people's lives, and you can't want to do it as something that is done between the 1st of July to the 30th or 31st of August, and then you want to come back in January and once you signed, I'll see you in 3 years, see you in 5 years. No, that's not. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday grind. It's an everyday hustle. I've stopped practicing as an attorney because I wanted to focus on this and I wanted to grow it. I wanted to flourish and ultimately wanted to make sure that what I'm doing now is the dream that I've always had to do.
Yeah. So stopped practicing as an attorney. That is major. And how do you tell them at home that, you know what, that you took me to school for and what we studied, not that it doesn't apply now, because a contract is still a legal document and you got to look through it and sift through it, etc. You know, but there's always an attachment. There's Basia, an attorney, and there's Basia, FIFA accredited agent.
Sure.
Tell me about their understanding of where you were and where your journey is taking you.
Funny story. My mom didn't get it.
Yes.
She didn't. I think my dad also. Pax's thing in his mind was all that money.
Gone, boom.
Yeah, all that money. Like, you know. My mom didn't get it, but the thing about parents and moms especially is they're like, okay, cool. Is this what you want to do? Yeah, it's what I want to. Okay, cool.
And you're happy.
And okay, go. And then she starts seeing it. She starts reaping the rewards, and she starts coming to games, and we do this, and we go to the and everything then starts making sense. I can comfortably tell you my grandmother didn't understand it. Not until I got to a point where I was like, oh, by the way, this is what I do.
Yeah.
She's like, Ushabela polo. Ushabela polo.
That's all 90 minutes.
So it just those are the things, and the people closest to me, like, it just starts opening up a whole new world.
Yeah.
You know, in a world that people actually didn't know existed. And I think probably when Pax was at his proudest was I did a deal for his favorite team. And he was like...
Still a Pirate supporter?
Yeah, always. That won't change.
Okay.
That won't change. It's like his name, it won't change. And he says, oh, that was you. And I was like, yes, Daddy, that was me. He was like, I like this job.
Tell us which player this was.
It was a renewal.
Yeah.
For Siabonga Mponchan.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was a bit worried about losing a goalkeeper at that point in time.
And it wasn't going to be advisable that he loses that goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Maybe he misses his job, as a mayor of this city, the daughter of Pakstow here in studio, Basia Michaels. Now, the one thing, and let's break it down here, because if your grandmother's struggling to understand, I think a lot of us fall into the same trap. Because yes, we know years gone by, you had to go through an exam, and then FIFA stepped through. Then intermediaries came through, and it became easy. Oh, okay, I'm a family member, I'm an uncle, I'm so-and-so, I can go and represent this particular player and represent them at a club. But clearly now, there's so many chance takers that came into the fold, and the World International Governing Body saw that we can't carry on like this. So just in terms of the FIFA, the football agent regulations is what they term it. I mean, these are all the new regulations that have been implemented, as well as those that are still relevant and applicable from previously. What do you think this is trying to curtail? I know I talk about dodgy agents that are there. Maybe there's a deeper lying line of why we are here now.
Look, one of the things that the industry is sorely mistaken about, especially in South Africa, probably overseas, is the crazy amounts of money that is made. If you look at it's Pogba's agent, Mignol, passed away, right? He did a transaction where he represented all three parties in a deal. He represented Juventus, he represented Man United, and he represented the player.
Sure.
With an estimated crazy amount of plus minus 40 million made by him, paid by three different parties for one deal. So what that then brought to light was the integrity and the conflict of interest. Because does the, and I'm not saying this about anybody, I'm not saying this about Mignol, I'm just asking. The question then becomes, is this exactly what the player wanted? Right? And obviously, yes, Pogba, Manchester, great, let's do it, great. But let's take whatever club A, club B, and player X, right? If you are the person controlling all three of them, and they never meet in a room, they never sit across each other, they never have a conversation, but you bring 3 different contracts and you put them on the table, what's to say you've done the right things to ensure that all these contracts are done legitimately, above board, and everybody is happy? There's no chance. And that's exactly what the agents regulation now does, is it regulates what can be done by an agent. So if you represent a releasing entity, you cannot represent an engaging entity and a player. But if you represent an engaging entity, you can represent an engaging entity and a player. But you cannot represent a releasing agent. There can be 3 agents across the table. That's fine.
So it's strict regulations, and for me it makes sense.
Yes.
And the fact that they were allowed in the first place also makes me question whether the people that stopped it in the first place knew what they were doing.
I can't. That's a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But look, I think for me the regulation is necessary.
Yeah.
But I just think what they've done is they've gone 0 to 100 real quick, and they haven't taken into consideration the right people to speak to about this. And most importantly, they haven't taken into account how this whole thing flips an industry. So there were however many of us that wrote that exam. On the day, I counted 16 people that wrote the exam. We sat at SAFA, we wrote the exam. I know a number of agents, and some of them are legacy agents. They probably don't have to write the exam.
Yeah.
Right? But with all the continual professional development that we need to put up, it would probably be easier to write the exam currently. But that's not my business, that's theirs. The question then becomes in September when you have to write the exam. Do you pass? Great. If you fail, you are between a rock and a very hard place, because these regulations come into play on the 1st of October 2023. Sure. We're yet to find out what SAFA is saying. That's the other thing. We're yet to find out what SAFA says and what SAFA rubber stamps. We're at a point where right now, FIFA says, hi guys, these are the rules, these are the regulations, you follow this. And your transition period is between when they put it in effect on the 9th of January 2023, right, to then the 1st of October 2023. It's life-changing. Because let's say you are an agent that only has 4 players, and you've looked after these players for the past 5 years, and now they're getting to a great phase. They're coming from NFD to a lower PSL club, and they could probably in a year or so make a really great move to a top PSL team. You actually lose that client as of the 1st of October 2023 if you don't have a license.
And you can't practice. So, and to put this into perspective, I was going to ask you, you said there were 16 of you. How many passed?
I don't know.
You don't know.
And I don't know everybody that was there.
So FIFA revealed that only 52% passed, obviously the first test. So when I break this down in terms of numbers, 1,962 of the 3,800 candidates passed this. And obviously people are complaining. Hundreds of people took the exam at London's Excel Centre last week. And it was just failure. It was a bloodbath in terms of what happened there. So when we come back from the break, I want to take you also on a journey to break down for us here what has been happening, because people have been asking me, and I don't know you, the agent that's involved in terms of Mayo's contract, Amazulu, Zuma, coming through. There's also the whole case of Austin Dube. He's attracting a lot of interest from other clubs, wanting him from Kaizer Chiefs. So hopefully we'll be able to squeeze all of that in. And if you want to pose any questions, we are an interactive show.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live. In 3, 2, 1. On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.
The big birthday sale is back at House & Home. Celebrate and save with deals like the 86-inch LG 4K Smart Digital LED TV, now just $26,999. Save $10,000. Or save $1,480 on a Luna Neria Queen base set, only $5,799. And get a 2-pack chip latex pillows free. Hooray for the big birthday sale at House & Home. Prices valid until 7 May 2023. T's and C's apply.
Ach, please.
Please, Daddy, see, I heard the neighbor's dog bark. He bought us some lekker chow, it's local too. He's barking about boerewors, braai mix en biltong. These flavors with a lot of love will make me strong. Braai mix, boerewors, potjie kos en biltong. Get me some, please, so I can bark along. All a dog needs is love and Ebol.
Located south of Joburg, just 20 minutes from Sandton, the Eye of Africa estate embodies modern countryside living with plenty of choices direct from the developer. Luxury apartments, 1, 2 and 3 bedrooms with stunning balcony views. Our 2-bed, 2-bath unit is just over 1.5 million and there's even a furnished option. Or purchase a stand of 800 square meters for 999,000 and we'll give you 100,000 off. Contact us at eyeofafrica.co.za.
The time has come to buy a car. You're shopping, browsing near and far. You're looking for a new ride, but the right one hasn't come. You saw some on the internet, but found We Buy Cars instead. Cars, bakkies, bikes and more. We Buy Cars has got them all. We have what you desire. Just come to us, we are the ones to trust. We have what you desire. Come to We Buy Cars, we're the best by far. WeBuyCars.co.za, the best way to buy a car by far.
Feel rewarded and be rewarded at Virgin Active. Join this May and get a 3-month premium membership upgrade or sign up as a premium member and get 50% off your fees for 3 months. Love the post-workout highs and long-term rewards. Call 0860 Get Fit or visit your nearest Virgin Active to get started. virginactive.co.za. T's and C's apply.
The Queen of Bridgerton is coming to SA.
Your Majesty.
Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story is a Bridgerton prequel centered on Queen Charlotte's rise to prominence and power.
That's a reasonable idea.
To celebrate the beginning of Her Majesty's reign, join Netflix at 9/4/7 at Melrose Arch this Saturday for a fun Bridgerton affair.
Together.
Catch 9/4/7 Top 40, powered by CTM with Zweli Live. Interact with Queen Charlotte through an exclusive AR experience and participate in exciting activities with the 947 crew. You don't want to miss out.
You are our queen.
Her reign begins on Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story, only on Netflix.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
As Upstart Boxing promotions Boxing 5, I mean, they're continuing with their consistent plans, though, to revive the interest in boxing. I love the fact that you brought in a streaming system.
What we want to do is build a streaming platform that you can get to the viewership, the market that we want, and no disrespect to anyone. The market that we got are the people that stream, that don't have the cash to watch DSTV or watch this. They want to watch it on their phone, and they must get it for nothing.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to build up, that brand, so you can get the numbers. I want East London people who follow the boys in East London to watch the fights, for the true boxing lovers, not for the armchair guys who go and sit there and have dinner. And don't disrespect, but the boxing fanatics.
#MSW.
#MSW. Hi Rob, this is Andy from Rediport. Rob, I just have 2 questions for your guest. Firstly, there are a lot of agents in the game today, but what I want to know from her, what's that one thing that makes her stand out, or her niche, or her qualities that the next agent doesn't have? And the second one, Rob, is, we've seen players that at their prime, they are able to attract a lot of agents, and they are getting well looked after when they are playing. But, as soon as they hit retirement, the relationship ends, and they are never getting any support or any opportunities from the agents. So I just want to know, what is her view and her positions on players after retirement as an agent?
Players after retirement as an agent, that's a key question coming through from Andrew in Roodepoort to a guest here tonight on #MSW Marawa Sports Worldwide, live at 947. Also live on Vuma FM, Rise FM, and on Sowetan Live. Yeah, we are hosting, one of a few that have managed to pass, not only in the country, but the continent as well as the world. That's a QT Sports Managing Director, also licensed FIFA agent, Basia Michaels, in studio. How do you handle that question from Andrew?
We plan for retirement way before it.
Yeah.
You get to a point. Retirement is the end of the race. but we've been running this thing. We've been practicing. We've been working it out. So by the time we get to that retirement phase, the question then becomes, do you still want to play? And most of them say yes. But players are also honest with themselves because it takes a lot in your body. And some of them could turn around and say, no, I don't want to play. But 2-3 years before that, we've already planned. Some people are farmers, some people are coaches, some people want to work in a business, some people have a chisanyama. That's great because we put those plans in place before your retirement hit. We didn't see your retirement and be like, oh gosh, life just happened and you're old all of a sudden. No, we walked through a phase and we took the steps together and this is where we are. And great, let's plan. But it's already been done.
But do they have enough, though? Because as you know, that football players do get a lot of money. Do they have enough that will supplement monthly requirements for them?
Essentially, do they have enough? No. It's never enough.
Yeah.
It's a very short career. But what we do is we put things in place that would supplement you to then a certain point. And a lot of footballers are smart and they know exactly what they want to do. Like I say, some footballers are farmers and they know that, hey, this is what I want to do. But we've gone through the process of buying the farms and the machinery and everything else. Some footballers run a business because this is what they know they wanted to do. So we've gotten to that point. So is the money enough? When you're playing currently, do you ever make enough? Never. You can never make enough money. But with the little bit that we make, with the lot that we make, because some of them do earn really great salaries. But some people also don't earn great salaries. With what you have and what we have, we
so the
make
ones
sure
that don't earn good salaries are clearly not your clients.
No,
because you make sure that they should be earning good salaries.
No, sure, but sometimes it's the run of the mill and we don't always hit the luck.
Yeah.
You know, it's life happens and we become quite unfortunate. But with the little bit that we have, we make sure that we can grow it and just ensure that it will get you to post 60 or get you to a certain point, and let's see how do we go through from there. But a lot of them are smart enough, and trust me, when you speak to a player about what they want to do, they know what they want to do.
Okay. Got a message that came through here. Says you are sitting with a former dependable right back of UJ ladies team. She's one of the business manager that I highly respect. Top negotiator, very professional person. It's always good to do business with her. Congratulations. That's from Kenneth Amatax. You know Bra Kenneth?
Yes, I know Bra Ken. He's been very instrumental in my football playing career. It's great. And I have great relationships with him currently.
No, geez, who are you selling to him?
No one yet, because he's not buying.
Who are you buying from him?
He doesn't have somebody I want for now.
Oh, Amatax always producing good players.
They are.
Especially when
really
it comes
are.
to Nedbank Cup. Oh, yeah, sure, they might not be there now, but historically,
yes.
That was.
Yes.
Okay, so Bra Kenneth, please, man, start churning out some good talent there.
Yeah,
Rob and Basia, I just want to congratulate you for passing the FIFA Agent qualification. It must be an amazing feeling because I believe that very few people achieve that qualification on their first sitting, and that demonstrated the amount of work that you have put in getting this qualification. And also be interested to hear from you because it must be a good feeling as well to see your client Brendan Truter doing well at Sekhukhune. But I also want to find out, will Matoho be staying at Kaizer Chiefs or will he be moving on? Thank you so much. It's Tebogo.
All right, Matoho follows you everywhere.
It does.
Let's get it out once and for all.
No, I don't succumb to peer pressure. I'm not going to answer the question. I'm one of those people. I'm strong, very strong-willed, completely backboned. The time will come when I have to answer the question, but that time's not right now.
But he's not playing.
Sure, but not playing doesn't mean you can't stay, does it?
So if you stay and you don't play, what's the point of football?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for congratulating me on passing my agent's exam. I really appreciate the love and warmth. It's appreciated.
All right. So that is your way of saying you're not going to answer Tebogo's question, right?
Thank you so much, Tebogo. I absolutely appreciate the love.
When do you think this will be unpacked, though? Because, yes, there is an interest. You know that there's an interest. But when do you think there will be finality as far as the Matoho situation is concerned?
Let's give it till the end of the season.
Yeah.
We've had lengthy and extensive conversations, but I do think now the focus is on the Nedbank Cup. The focus is on trying to finish second or third for them to get their CAF position. So we're mindful and very respectful of that post our meetings. But we will get to that point where it will be discussed or it will be told to the public what our decision is.
which you'd have taken in conjunction with Kaizer Chiefs for the benefit of the player.
Definitely.
Okay. Cape Town City, we saw that they've triggered 2 more years on Mayo's contract. What's your take on that? What's the position? What can you tell us?
It's not a Basia decision. It's a Kanyisa decision. He's made it very clear that he would love to go overseas. We've had conversations with John. He's young enough. He's at that point where it would be a great move. But I would also love just 1 more year at Cape Town City, just for the stability. You know, his first season was great. Second season has been phenomenal. The third might be a bumper bashing, but I'm also mindful to opportunities that open up. If something comes and it's outstanding, then it makes no sense to say no.
Yeah.
But if it's not outstanding, if it's not something that essentially grows the path and grows the cause, then I don't think it makes sense, you know, because he's very happy, he's focused, he's loving the football he's playing under Coach Eric. You can see by the goals he scores, you can see the positions he takes up, and he's doing very well. I've always said he's going to be phenomenal.
He could be a top goal scorer come end of the season. He still has games to do that.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And I believe that he can. He probably scored 2-3 goals tonight. If he scores a hat-trick tonight, then we're there, we're in.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll be standing at the PSL Awards with that golden boot, and I'll be there for that.
And that's exactly what Eric Tinkler was trying to say. He was trying to say that he's at the right age for him to score more goals. You know, Tinkler is a slave driver. So he believes, though, that, get to double figures, but he could also, and I think he used the analogy of Collins and Mbesuma, saying that Mbesuma got to 25 goals and the next season ended up at Portsmouth. What stops a Mayo from doing exactly that? Get to 20 goals and then head off to the EPL?
Nothing at all. He's putting in the work at training. He's really working hard. He wants to get back into the national team. He's made that very obvious to all of us. And we can see it. We can see it on the field. Kanyisa has taken up a space and he's made it his own. He hasn't doubted himself. He hasn't doubted his ability. He's just literally stood there and said, this is my place, this is my platform, and I'm going to be the person that runs this. And you can see it by the way that he plays, and you can see it from the performances on the field.
Yeah.
He's fearless. And that's exactly what you want. You want him to be fearless. You want him to believe that nothing can actually stop him from achieving what he wants to achieve.
You represent Dubisa Zuma?
Yeah, I do.
What's happening?
It once again, it's so difficult because you want to allow the clubs the discretion to do what they need to do, you know. So we have to get to the end of the season. I do believe AmaZulu found themselves in a precarious position and they didn't know where they would be.
With him?
No. In the log, yes. You know, I mean, the president is a very ambitious person.
Yeah.
I know that he every year wants to gun for that number 1 position, wants to get to number 2, top 3. And those are the positions he wants. He wants to be first, second or third and nothing else. But unfortunately, football works out differently because the football gods do what they do.
Yeah.
So they were in a very precarious position. I think that they're safe now and they have a little bit of breathing room post this Kukune win. So once again, that also becomes something that we have to let unfold. Let's let the season end. Let's get to that point. Let's sit down. Let's converse about things that happened, happiness, unhappiness, and then we can go from there. But
the club, though, in terms of, and I hear you, allow the club to do what they have to do, but they haven't.
The top 8, he's doing exceptionally well, and it makes it's quite simple. It
and
has
consistency.
To happen. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the situation that Dumisani finds himself, with all due respect, the situation that many players at AmaZulu find themselves, and I mean this with no disrespect.
Sure.
I don't see anybody with their options having been exercised. I don't know the AmaZulu business, but generally, like Cape Town City did, we Mayo, yay, great, boom, done. It's put out there. I'm sure that there are a number of other players that need their options exercised. So I would be wary of a Dumisani situation if I knew that 5-6 other players had their options exercised. From the little bit that I know, and like I say, I'm not in an AmaZulu business, I know nothing about it, but when you're within the industry, you know these little things.
But we also have a situation again of a certain defender who was let go of. He was back in Gauteng, wanting to change his life and wanting to do different things, and he was called back. Was the coach had been moved aside. He was put back into an aeroplane, back to Durban. He was brought into a starting lineup and he scored a goal and became a man of the match again. So there's a lot of moving parts currently that are going on there.
And that's why I'm saying we have to be able to allow the club the flexibility, you know, because once we allow that and we respect those kinds of things, because football happens. Trust me, something can happen to Dumisani scores 2 goals against Sundowns. what's to say that I don't receive an option exercise the very next day? All I'm saying to you is things happen so quickly in football, especially during this time, that we have to just go with it for what we can control. We can't control the option being exercised. But let's say the option doesn't get exercised. Trust me, I'll find him a job. The question doesn't become whether I will or won't find it. I'll definitely find him a job.
I'm conflicted here because of time. I've got a question which is very important that's come up on the voice notes, but I also want to find out about Austin Dube because he's attracted so much interest from rival teams in the Premiership locally. What's cooking with him?
He has another year left on his contract. We have to respect contracts.
Yeah.
We have to. I mean, I don't know which statute, I remember seeing it when I was reading the FIFA rules. It says contracts are there to be adhered to and respected. So I can't speak out of turn. I can listen to conversations. Trust me, I know that there are people that are interested in Austin. I've had the conversations, but I have to be mindful of the fact that he has a contract. He still has another year. That's not an option. That's not a maybe. That's not a if he doesn't. No.
But again, it's an option. It's a contract, yes, but he also wants to play. Contract will not give you longevity on the field. A contract is not going to make you a happy guy. Sitting in the grandstand, sitting at home, watching Netflix in between, is not going to make you happy. He's a football player. He wants to play football.
Definitely, but that's where the balance comes in.
The one that I also wanted to ask you.
Simple and straight up question, Mr. Marawa, for your guest. Why is it that in South Africa, the salaries of the players are such a secret? Why is that? This is the Max Pera from Tembisa.
Max, thank you so much indeed. Why is it a secret in SA?
For me personally, pressure.
From?
Family.
How?
All the time. Trust me. I've seen a footballer go from earning R1 to earning R5, 5 times more. And all of a sudden, the line outside his mother's house is longer than the debts that he's accumulated. The pressure is just too much for them. And also, with all due respect, if you look at it overseas, we talk about Sadio Mane's great big deal, Bayern paying X amount of money, however many millions, that money is a significant amount of money, life-changingly significant, where he could build a school and a hospital and a this and a that and a this and a that. We're not there yet. And the pressures that we put our youngsters under, whether they're 33 or whether they're 23, we find... And I'm sorry, I'm just going to put out there because I can.
Please
it's black tax.
Yeah.
I changed your nappy at the age of 2. Do you remember me from exactly? And that is the biggest problem that our young men struggle with.
But from a PSL perspective or from a SAFA perspective, it shouldn't be their problem though. Like if you sit and you say Lionel Messi, who's in talks with the Saudi Arabian contract worth $400 million annually. Yeah, these are crazy amounts. These are amounts that we could only dream about, but they're always out there. You can type in any player, their earnings are there. But South Africa, it's a secret. But it's where it flips is the case of then the potential exploitation. And that's where now we start to call the players' union to try and assist because we don't know what they were supposed to earn, except when we're told that they're not even getting a salary.
Sure, that is the flip side.
Yeah.
That is definitely the flip side.
Yeah.
But I must be honest with you, most of the time, players that have actual agents, people that know what they're doing in this game, that is not the concern. For me, my biggest concern is salaries should not come out because of the fact that these players are put under so much pressure to pay for their uncle's tires, the windscreen is this,
the leaking roof,
everything.
When are you back on the show again?
When you want me, I'm here.
Okay, love that. Thanks, Basia.
Always a pleasure, Barack.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live. In 3, 2, 1. On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.